Well, welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. What a treat. We've got Sandy Miller and Brenda LaTulip from the Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale, which is going to look a little different this year. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So like everything, this coronavirus has put a little crimp in our style, but boy, undaunted, you have forged ahead and created a brand new event that's going to be so cool. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, I can kick us off here. So, like you just said, 2020 is a special year in a number of different ways, the coronavirus being the most impactful. But it's also the 55th year that the Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale has been going. And it's also the centennial anniversary of Mennonite Central Committee, which the profits of the Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale support. That's where the profits go. It's all volunteer staff, no paid staff, so all the profits go directly to Mennonite Central Committee.
Yes.
And it's their 100-year anniversary.
Well, let me stop you right there because I'm going to guess that you've been planning all kinds of extra, really exciting things to recognize that centennial, and then this all happened. So what were you planning? What was going to happen that maybe got tweaked?
Oh, we had so many things.
Oh, my. Well, just tell, just so we can groan a little bit, tell us what we're missing out on.
Well, we had set up a whole schedule where we were having the congregations that participate, we were asking them to do something every month that celebrated the centennial.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of centennial stories out on the web, and there are some really, really interesting stories of all the things that have happened in those 100 years.
Yes.
But we were, doing different contests. Now, we do have some specialty items in the auction this year. Sandy, maybe you could touch on some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So this year, there was Mennonite Central Committee has made a centennial water pitcher for each of the sales that is going to be up for sale. It's a very nice pottery pitcher. And so that's going to be some sales. So in conjunction with that, we had a local pottery craftsman here by the name of Terry Shue. He handcrafted centennial mugs that can go with this water pitcher. And I think he had close to 100 of them or so-ish that he made that we're going to be having on the online sale as well as an online store that Brenda can touch on later. Mm. We have a wooden marble hand pump that has the Centennial logo on that. That is going to be one of the feature items. It's a really cool, it's a little marble hand pump. I don't know, it stands maybe 8 inches tall. It's really well done. There's also a feeding station sign that, Brenda, maybe you can enlighten us about the history on what they did back with the relief sales years ago or go to these different places to feed people in different countries, and they put up this feeding station sign, if I've got that correct. Is that right, Brenda?
Brenda?
You're close. Sorry, you're close.
Go ahead. Correct me.
It is actually after World War II, the relief after World War II, there was a sign that was actually put up in Germany in a feeding station where they fed refugees. And that original sign got handed down through someone's family in Kansas. And a person in Kansas made replicas of that sign. And it's probably 2 feet. It's a circle, and it's about 2 feet round. And it is a replica of that original sign, and they made them available for different relief sales to purchase and then put up for auction.
How neat.
So there's a little information sheet that goes with it that talks about how it was used and stuff. It's really cool.
Well, is there a way that the churches can still do something that they had planned to recognize some of these cool stories that have taken place over the 100 years, maybe as a recording that could be put together in some way?
Yeah, there are quite a few YouTube
Good.
things that they can run, and they have been running some of them, and we've had some of them up on our Facebook feed, and
Well,
everybody should follow our Facebook feed.
awesome. All right, tell us what that is.
It is. Let me find that.
All right, I'm going to guess if we go to Facebook and run a search for Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale,
Yep.
that
correct.
that it would come up. Okay, let's just make sure people do that, because you're right. And I'm thinking that, again, one of these things about this COVID is that what the enemy has intended for evil, God is using for good, and more people are having access to learning about Ohio Mennonite Relief than would have before, because rather than a smaller celebration, even though it would have been a large congregation of people being able to see it, and especially at the relief sale where there's just thousands and thousands of people, think of the millions of people that are able to learn about this because of YouTube, and perhaps would not have gotten up on YouTube unless we were forced to. So this kind of has made everybody get a little more creative. What are your thoughts on that?
It made us get a lot more creative
Well,
about everything.
yeah.
And one other advantage is that people have more time because they're not out running around as much as they
Yeah.
were before. So
Yeah.
all of that is good. And then, Sandy, is there not also a centennial quilt or a quilt?
Yes,
Made?
there is. We have 3 ladies in the area, Ruth Steiner, Evelyn White, and Laurel Hurst, have taken a fabric that has kind of a world feel to it, meaning like it has different, I guess, fabric that looks like the world or has different places in it or whatever. And then they
Neat.
made it into a circle, into like a globe or a composite of a map,
Wow.
to kind of just bring out what the Mennonite Central Committee has been doing as far as being able to touch lives in all different parts of the world. So this just kind of brings that whole full circle, should I say, into the realm of what is going on. So that is going to be our feature quilt this year, is that centennial quilt with the world kind of feel to it.
Let's pick up right there. There's going to be amazing things for auction and on your online store. But let's just talk about the Mennonite Central Committee. And you think of 100 years of having such a heart for impacting the world. Where did that come from?
Where it started. Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead, Brenda.
where it actually started is at the end of World War I. There were Russians in what is now Ukraine who were literally starving to death, and they were Mennonites. And so it started out, and they sent a group of 3 people, 3 guys, of course they were guys, to the U.S. and Canada to ask for help. They just thought it was important that they asked for help for their plight. I mean, they were literally starving to death. And even though Mennonite agencies in the U.S. were doing things kind of independently, sending clothes and things like that, this was enough of a need that all different denominations or different kinds of Mennonites got together and formed this agency. And it actually took a little while for it to get going, for them to actually be able to provide relief, but that is how it started. And when they started delivering the relief to their fellow Mennonites in the Ukraine, they realized, oh, Mennonites aren't the only people starving over here.
Yes.
So they started helping everybody. I mean, how could you go into an area where people were starving and
I'm sorry, you're Presbyterian, so you don't get any.
sorry, you don't
Right,
get any.
yeah.
So no, they couldn't. Obviously, they couldn't do that.
Right. But what an amazing history. What a rich history. And now when you see, oh my goodness, like in a normal world, how many people tend to attend this? Because I was blown away first time I ever saw it. If it were a normal year, how many do you tend to have there?
I would say we probably have close to a couple thousand over the 2 days, I would think.
Yes.
It's just really a hard number to grasp when we don't charge anything to come in. So
Yes.
it's just kind of, a hard thing to
Easily,
grasp.
easily
But,
thousands in the thousands for sure. And it's something to see. Anybody who's never been there, the quilt auctions are amazing, all the auctions, the food is amazing. How do you take that very distinct event and put it online? I'm sure you had some meetings, some Zoom meetings probably, and figure out how are we going to take that and do it this year. So take me from there to here. How did that come about, this new way?
Well, one fortunate thing is that last year we had started and we put some quilts online. So some of the quilts were available online, and that really helped us. That gave us a foot up. If you think about the support for Mennonite Central Committee, it comes from a bunch of different areas, but a lot of it is from MCC thrift shops. There are like three local thrift shops in the area, and obviously congregational donations, and then relief sales. And some of the relief sales were planned, well, they're all planned long in advance, but some of the dates were right in the middle of COVID shutdowns.
Yeah.
And people could not react fast enough. And, ours is normally the first Saturday in August, and we just felt like we wouldn't know what the situation was the first part of August, and we couldn't really plan. So and also, a lot of the quilts are quilted by local congregational sewing circles. So the ladies get together and quilt or comfort, not comforters or whatever. They couldn't do it because we were we couldn't congregate like that.
Yes.
So we pushed the date back to October. And because so many of the other events were canceled, we felt like we had to do something, because if you think about a large organization, they have a budget. They're counting on a certain amount of money coming in, and they know what they traditionally get, and they wouldn't have that money. So we thought we have to do something. We can't just say, it's a rough year. We're just going to call it this year.
Right, because the year that more people are in need than ever before, that certainly is not when you want to cancel a fundraiser. And this is one where the generosity seems to know no bounds. I am amazed and just so encouraged by what these quilts sell for. Do you have any numbers on that? Because it's been really phenomenal. I have to drop out early on in the bidding, but it is really fun to see what those end up going for, and they are just works of art. What kind of monies are we talking about raising?
I think last year we raised around $62,000 just in the 200 some quilts that we did.
Wow.
So that just kind of gives you a little bit of an average of what it can go for.
Yes, amazing. It's so cool, and that it all goes to such an amazing cause. I'm looking at the clock here. It's going to be ticking down pretty quickly, and we're going to have to take a break. So let's just let everybody know. Go to Facebook and look for Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale. What is your website?
Our website is www.ohiomccreliefsale.org.
Ohio.
Everything in the middle there is all smushed together, and then .org.
Ohio MCC reliefsale.org. And on that, will we find everything that is for sale? And is it auctioned or just a flat-out store, or do you have both?
Well, we are actually going to be doing both. So the main part of it is going to be a timed auction. So that timed auction is going to start on September the 25th, 4th, 5th. I forget now, 26th.
Okay.
And we're going to start that and go to October the 3rd. So you have like a whole entire week to look at the items, and then you can constantly keep bidding up your item. If you get outbid, you will get a notice saying that you got outbid, and you can go in and have a chance to up your bid on that. So that'll give a whole week of people being able to look at it and bid online. So this is going to be something unique this year to do a whole week long. And then after this sale is over with on October the 3rd, then we want to incorporate an actual online store that can go in tandem with our sale next year, that it'll be items that we'll be able to put on there throughout the year to continue making money as we go along instead of one chunk, at one time.
Brilliant.
So we're just looking at different aspects. So we're actually going to be doing both. So it's going to be kind of a neat thing. We also are going to do the Buy It Now again this year, like we did last year. So they featured certain number of items, and I forgot to ask the girls if it's going to be 10 or 12 quilts again that'll be on the Buy It Now, that you can actually have a chance the week before to actually buy these quilts before the action actually starts.
Oh, awesome.
Those prices are actually set. So you have to pay that plus the shipping for us to ship it to you. But you would actually have a chance of actually buying some phenomenal pieces that are out there before the actual sale actually happens.
Awesome.
So,
We're visiting with Sandy Miller and Brenda LaTulip, and we will be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community. Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas with you. We're learning all about the Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale and the 100th anniversary of the Mennonite Central Committee, visiting with Sandy Miller and Brenda LaTulip. And ladies, you've become your own Amazon. I'm thinking of all the stuff that you have there. Is there a warehouse where these quilts currently are, and all of the other, I'm thinking the woodworking items and all of the wonderful things that we get to see when we attend. Where is this stuff right now?
well, right now the quilts are housed at a special warehouse that they're stationed at now until we have access to the building. And the building, that's where we're going to have the preview on the 26th for people to be able to come in and actually look at the items. And that's going to be at the Sprunger Building at the Kidron Auction Grounds.
Okay.
And that's located at 13071 Emerson Road, Apple Creek, Ohio. And those items will be on display on that Saturday, the 26th, from 9 to 3.
Okay.
And prior to that, the night before, Friday night, we're going to have a kickoff weekend, and there's going to be an outdoor concert with Honeytown and a girl named Tom that is going to be on the same grounds right there by the Sprunger Building to be able to just come and start kicking off this little weekend that we have here before the sale actually starts the next day.
So these will be in face-to-face events, or will people stay in their cars, or how will this look?
So the tent is a rather large tent, and you just bring your own lawn chair or blanket or whatever you want to sit on, and that way we can continue with the social distancing that is required out to be outside and have this event. The items themselves are going to be in the building, and we're going to be having gloves and masks that people need to wear, and having people kind of help show the quilts without actually touching it, and we're going to be doing that stuff inside the building. So we're doing our best to stay with what we need to within the mandated rules.
Absolutely. All right. So that's the Sprunger Building. September 25th is the concert before, and then September 26th from 9 to 3, you can take a look at the quilts. You also can see them online. Is that right?
Yes, you're also going to be able to see them online as well. They'll be on our website, and then they will also be loaded up to the online auction, which is ProxyBid, is the software program that we use to do the actual auction. So you'll be able to see them on both things. Now, Saturday, to go along with that, we are also going to be having a barbecue chicken. So if somebody between 11 and 2 wants to come and pick up some barbecue chicken with coleslaw and applesauce, we'll also have pie, whether it's whole pie or slice of pie, and ice cream available that day too. So as people come to preview, they can pick up lunch and go home with it, or whatever they want to do. We do ask right now that we would like for people to be able to pre-order their chicken dinners, and they can go on our website to get that. One reason is we're not sure how many people that are going to be coming out, and we want to make sure we do not run out of chicken, and we want to be able to raise all the money we can for this organization. So we're just asking if they could pre-order. We would very much appreciate it. We will have chicken extra in case those who on the spur of the moment decide to come, and that's fine. It would just really help us in order to be able to make that happen and make sure we don't run out.
When you're having dinner guests, you really do need to know how many you're going to feed. So that really does help. How about prepaying? Can we pay ahead online too and make it kind of touchless when they come pick up the chicken?
We didn't. It's a little bit more cumbersome to do that. So we're just going to put a donation box out there, and people can put donations in as they want. And also, as far as I think available, there will be credit card machines there if they need to, but
great.
We're trying to accommodate the best we can.
I just love that you're keeping everybody's favorite parts of all of this, so we don't even miss out on the food. How about fried pies? Will there be any fried pies there?
No,
okay,
sorry.
that's all right.
We're trying to keep this to a minimal because this was such an undertaking as it was, and yet we wanted to not let people lose out on some stuff.
Oh, well, regular whole pie is just fine, really, honestly.
Right. Made by our ladies, it's really good.
Oh, my goodness, yes, they do know how to cook.
Yes. Brenda, do you want to touch base on the Sunday concert that we're playing on Sunday on the 27th?
Yes, we are planning a Facebook Live concert, so this will not be in person, and it will be with John Schmidt. So it'll be Facebook Live. I don't have an exact time right now. Sandy, do you?
I'm sure we can find that online. So Facebook Live on that Sunday then, concert with John Smith, that you can just enjoy from wherever you are.
Correct.
You're going to make more money than ever before because everyone from around the world can attend this. You don't have to just be in the area to drive on in. You realize that.
That's what we're banking on, Susie.
Oh, my goodness, yes. And then the fact that it goes for a week,
and
you've thought of everything.
The other advantage on the auction is that, you know how at the traditional auction, you were either in the quilt building or in what we call the wood building.
Right.
And you couldn't be in both places at the same time. So sometimes you had the chance of missing out on your favorite item if both auctions were going at the same time.
Yes.
So this way you can bid on whatever you want to bid on.
You also have a children's auction. Is there anything in that category going on this time?
Yes, there'll be some items from that as well that we're going to have in there. So our silent auction that we normally have, well, this is kind of like one big, huge silent auction.
Yes.
So those items will be in there. We're going to have everything that we typically have had in the past, all of those going to be under the one big umbrella then. So.
Now, the one thing I think I'll miss is the entertainment of the actual auctioneers themselves. Is there going to be anything where we get to hear them? Because those guys are like stand-up comedians. They are really entertaining. How are they incorporated or somehow still involved, or are they?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have to have them this year because of that timed auction. Now, if we would have decided to do a one-day auction where we actually have them live here and actually auctioning everything online, we could have, but I guess we just kind of saw the timed one would just kind of help, especially the seniors or people that are possibly uncomfortable with doing things online. It gives them and allows them a chance to find somebody that can help them through with the internet stuff and bid on things and not feel so pressured and missing out. And so we were just trying to look at this whole picture as to how can we still make sure that everybody that wants to be involved can be involved. So,
I think you've done an amazing job. So they get the year off. That's okay. There'll be other options. We can go see them in other things.
If you go on YouTube, you can find them someplace somewhere.
Oh, there are. I'm thinking of one in particular that I always want to sit in on when he's the one that's auctioning off things. They're just so funny. Okay, so this is all online. We're using technology to its utmost for the very best of reasons. And just want to remind everybody, this all starts September 25th remind us again, we want to go to the Springer Building. And what's taking place that Friday night?
So Friday night is the kickoff of the whole weekend, and it'll be an outdoor concert with Honeytown and a band called A Girl Named Tom.
Okay, and then Saturday the 26th is kind of a big day. Again at the Springer Building, located at 13071 Emerson in Apple Creek. And from 9 to 3, what are we doing then?
So they'll be able to come in and actually view the quilts and view any of the other auction items that are available, so they can actually see if they're not comfortable looking at what's online. They can actually physically see those items and then pick up their lunch with chicken barbecue.
Awesome. And then on the 27th, a Facebook concert with John Schmidt. So
Correct.
I am blown away. You've thought of everything. So, all right, then that auction itself, September 26th through October 3rd, where we can bid, and if we get outbid, we get told, you've been outbid, you want to bid again? It keeps you in the game for the whole week if you care to be, and believe me, you care to be. What kinds of things are we going to be able to see online on this auction?
So you'll see the items that I had said earlier about the centennial stuff. There are going to be 125 quilts and wall hangings and comforters and all of that, with an assortment of hand quilted and machine quilted and flannel and modern and traditional, things like that. There's going to be like a backpack blowers. There's going to be tools. There's going to be some furniture. I think there's going to be a landscaping package that's going to be available out there, an appliance, garage door, and anybody that still wants to donate any other items, hey, we're willing to take those items. You can get a hold of one of us that's on the board and gladly call us and say, hey, I'd like to donate this towards that. We'll gladly take it.
Mm-hmm. Write down this, Ohio MCC reliefsale.org. That's the website you're going to want to be going to be able to see everything. And then Facebook, just look them up, Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale. Then, after October 3rd, it all becomes a store, yes? And we can just shop forever.
That's still a work in progress. It probably won't be up right at October 3rd, but yes,
Okay.
That is what we're hoping to do, that there's going to be like the smaller items that aren't going to be so cumbersome to actually ship out, or are going to be sold through that store.
Do you have enough help for volunteers to do all this shipping out? I'm thinking of, I honestly think you've turned yourself into an Amazon with a heart.
No, but we are looking for somebody that is willing to have a whole bunch of time on their hands that wants to just ship out for us.
Awesome. I think that would be a great job for someone looking for something to do during this coronavirus thing. So, and beyond. So, well, I'm amazed. You've done a wonderful job. This is going to, like I say, raise more money than ever before. What a way to celebrate a centennial. Sandy Miller and Brenda LaTulip, the Ohio Mennonite Relief Sale. Thank you so much for bringing this to our community today.
Thank you for having us.